recognize that one, right? Anyway, another cheap guitar special coming to you today. This is one you probably have seen on eBay and Amazon. I actually did a ukulele of this brand a while back. This is Afuaim. Afuaim, I think that's how you pronounce it. These go anywhere between, let's say, 75 and 140 on those sites. The prices tend to fluctuate. It says it's a solid spruce top, which is why I picked one of these up really cheap. And I have a few thoughts on this. First of all, the guitar itself, tune it. The guitar itself resonates better than a lot of guitars I've got in this price range. And I think it's because of this spruce top and matte finish combination. If you look at the guitar from this angle, it looks like a pretty nice guitar. It plays like a pretty nice guitar. So you got a solid spruce with the traditional black and white purfled rosette, rosewood board and bridge, probably plastic nut and saddle that can be switched out. Very basic chrome die-cast tuners that you see on a lot of these guitars. I think the tuners are all from the same place. Black binding. The one thing I don't like about this guitar, and we may split hairs here, is this sort of bright red blotch or blocky bright red finish. Just screams cheap backwood to me. I don't know about to you, but you know, normally you can see some feature in the grain coming through when you've got mahogany or sapele. I believe this is probably what they call NATO, or perhaps it's basswood. It's a very nondescript wood that they're obviously attempting to cover. So that's the one downer. If you don't care about the looks of the guitar, you like this sort of flat red finish, this is a good deal. I picked this up cheaper than the price range I gave you because it needed a few setup bits on it. But basically you can find these as cheap as $70, $75 sometimes, maybe a little bit more. And really, solid top guitar, reasonable neck binding. Everything on this guitar checks the boxes for good value for the money. Not staying in tune incredibly well. I don't think it's the tuners though. I think it's a very humid day here. The strings are still stretching out from the setup I just did. So I think it's more that than anything else, but I'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, as with a lot of guitars in this price range, when I got this, fret ends really sharp. I had to really grind these fret ends down. First with a beveler and then with a flat-edged file, flat-cornered file, to round off these file ends, and then do a lot of steel wooling to get them looking good and feeling good. So that was probably 25-30 minutes worth of work right there. The action on this was fine, but I suspect that's not always the case when you get these. The truss rod may need an adjustment. You may need to adjust the action. But really, again, we're in this. We're making the same comments about these $70, $80, $90, $100 guitars. It plays fine. It's been here for a couple of days now, so it's been in. It's come across a very humid United States, settling here in a drier climate, and yeah, it's doing just fine. I've got nothing to complain about with this particular guitar. For a kid wanting to start out, this sounds good. It feels good. It plays good. The action's really nice on it. I've got the frets really smooth. You know, this is a good deal for someone who wants a student guitar. With the normal caveat that I make on a lot of these videos, you're going to have to do some setup work either yourself or have somebody who knows how to do it. Out the box, they ain't this good. They need a bit of care and precision tuning, if you like. But really, it's a good little solid top guitar, very, very inexpensive. And this came with one of the nicest padded bags. I left it upstairs, so I'm not going to show you. It's a padded black bag, and it has a foam insert in the neck section that holds the neck in place. I don't normally see that quality of bag on guitars like this, so that's a nice feature too. I do believe that they offer that with this guitar in most instances. I've only ever seen one Afuaim guitar, but I'll give you the model number anyway. It's a GU1 guitar, so you know, normally when I see Afuaim guitars, it's always this model. Perhaps there's another color or something that I don't know about, but it is a GU1. It's very similar in quality to the ukulele that I showed you a few months back that had the sort of concave cutout section right here. Solid spruce top. That one was a Sapele back and sides. Very similar quality. Looks like the spruce might be from the same stock. So Afuaim guitar for the money can make this into a good player. Another one of our budget specials to tell you about. And you can pick these up really cheap. Do a bit of setup and you got yourself a guitar for your kid, you know, somebody in your family, or you want a second guitar or a beach guitar or a kick around guitar. I've seen a lot worse in this price range than this. So when I saw this really, in my view, garish red back, I was a little bit suspect, because I see a lot of cheap guitars on eBay that do this kind of back and sides finish to cover the wood. A lot of times they're really, really bad looking guitars, so I was bracing for a disappointment, but you know, the top on this redeems it, and the neck too. It's a nice rosewood board. Yeah, everything about it I like, except for this finish on the back, but it's not that big of a deal for $70, $80, $90, $100, is it? So anyway, just one more to tell you about. This is Afuaim Dreadnought Cutaway. All right, see you next time.